If I may ask a question before I continue, is there an estimation of how many tech priests and Mechanicum personnel were planet-side on Zeisbeth at the time of my visit?
You were deployed with, I think, 20 to 30 other tech priests, not including the tech priests who were already present on the planet, and those tech priests brought to the planet by the Imperial Guard.
So, on a planetary scale, we're talking hundreds of thousands.
Most likely, yes.
Right. I was on the planet for what? 3 days?
Pretty much.
In the space of these 3 days, by disregarding these rules, not only did I enable an entire Imperial Guard armored column to mobilize for war, I spearheaded an attack to destroy not only one, but 2 demons of obscene power, uncover a traitorous plot where the planetary governor, if unless I'm mistaken, was the linchpin, and brought the planet pretty much to peace, enabling the Mechanicum to return to its standard operating... Word just vanished from my brain. What? Jesus.
Procedures?
Thank you. Standard operating procedures. Can you name a single servant of the Mechanicum on board the planet side that did even 3% of what I achieved in those 3 days?
The Magos will state at this point that Krios does not have the authority to ask such a question of the Mechanicus, as he is no longer a member of the Mechanicus.
I don't need the answer. I just need you to think about it. Well,
information is being analyzed.
You have my thanks. That's it.
Okay. In the short term, you say you may have made progress, but did you think on the long term what such things you have done can do in, say, 3 years, 3 decades, 3 centuries? What you may have done?
Can you give me one example?
In the context of the 40K universe, Bob, your character would be able to cite examples where short-term advancements were later revealed to be grand heresy, or the stepping stones for Magos to fall to chaos in the Dark Mechanicus, or Mechanicum. It is forbidden knowledge, so you would tread lightly with what you speak of, but there have been instances, and the reason why things have become so ass backwards is because anytime somebody made a major development, it was generally somebody who did it at the expense of others. And so while there may have been historic events where, say, a certain Magos developed a wonderful war machine that had, great armor, multiple sensor arrays, and a plethora of weapons, only to end up using that tank bot to slaughter loyal Space Marines. Not that you'd know about Space Marines, but you'd basically be able to cite these sort of examples.
Or the Men of Iron in the Adeptus Mechanicus.
Right, of course. The Men of Iron and the Men of Stone or whatever. I'm not really sure exactly what that means.
I just know the Men of Iron.
Men of Iron and Men of Stone. The Men of Stone were the earlier adaptation of Men of
Iron. Would those versions be less heretical knowledge, or would that be like the teachings?
The Men of Iron would be taught, because that's like they're the boogeymen. So the whole reason that we do not allow aberrant intelligence to exist is because it would attempt to surpass humanity and assert its dominance over humanity, and that is unacceptable. Even the Emperor of Mankind outlawed artificial intelligence, but they called aberrant intelligence.
Okay. There were many records in our libraries of situations where short-term has engaged into long-term horrific effects. I'm not at liberty to mention or say here, but there was just one thing I may say of the short-term game we believed from the Men of Iron and what ended up that turning into.
As we've, I suppose I got a little sidetracked here. As we've discussed, the hearing here is not debating my innocence or guilt, but whether or not the information I have accrued is worth using. Sure. If I was given free reign, who knows, I might have gone heretic, I might have gone chaos within the next 300 years. We will never find out. However, the information I have accrued, much like the information that many other tech priests in the past have accrued, will eventually be used. It will. One way or another, the information we found, it will be either hidden away and uncovered at great length in the future, or in the near future, someone will find it, download it, and see that this is amazing information that can be used to great effect. Why deny the Mechanicum this information? Why? You can use it. So use it. If I need to be killed for you to, well, I'm going to get killed anyway, but why hamper yourselves? Why shackle your own legs when mine are the legs that are doing the running?
At this
I was gonna say because advancement without careful preparation, study, and comprehension of where this may take, and contemplating whether the odds ratio of such advancement is worth everything it could have, comparing both sides, do not have the authority or right to just spontaneously decide what gets to advance and what doesn't.
That is what I'm saying. The information is in your hands. You have this information. It might be evil. It might need to be destroyed. It might not. So test it.
Indeed.
Do find out
The
if
logic-
it is worth using.
The logic dictates that we should take this knowledge, review it, and in a chance of it being non-heretical or unusable corrupt data, it should be disregarded and destroyed. However, getting rid of this knowledge, if it's not as corrupt as it's said, it would be a crime against one of which number was it? One of the universal laws, the 6th. The understanding is true path to comprehension. We wouldn't have the understanding of these advancements he might have discovered.
It still raises the issue of the 16th law. Break with rituals to break with faith. He has decided to break with ritual and do all these things. The very essence and knowledge of it could lead to God, to Omnissiah knows what.
I am
As
the one that is
such-
broken with faith. I am the one that has this damnation on their souls. You are equipped with the armor to prevent that from tainting you. All you need to do is take your time.
Then you may explain some of this to us, and we may help gauge and judge that. You were asked for the last canon that you brought to this world with you to be brought forth, and you will explain where you got each of these modifications and why you decided to put said modifications on there.
So a servitor will leave and return with Henry.
I will comply, but once again I must state, my guilt is not at question.
That is correct.
Further damning myself does not help myself, it does not help you. We must focus on what is important here. What is important to the Mechanicum, may I add.
Yes, but if you are corrupt, the data you may offer may be corrupt as well.
And
may
it is
prove
up to
be a
you
greater
to test that.
Why I brought this last canon forward for you may help enlighten us on what you do.
Well, what would you like to know?
Those dispensers you have, where did you acquire those?
Servo skulls.
What?
Yeah, basically, if Tech Priest could do shocked gasp, this would be the moment they would.
This is highly illogical.
Are your auditory systems glitching?
You destroyed tech relics and amalgamated this horrific abomination.
Please, bring me any las cannon from any part of the entire Imperium or Mechanicum and put it against my abomination here. Do any test, I'm sure mine will win.
That's kind of like saying, take a Defiler tank from Chaos and put it up against any civilian.
Well, it's not the wisest thing to say, but Krios is upset.
Yeah.
I've been fucking... as far as I'm concerned, I've been doing pretty fucking well. And it's like, okay, so prove to us that 2 and 2 is 4. Okay, 2 and 2 is 4. But you did it on a blackboard. Whiteboard is superior. Fuck you, we're talking about if 2 and 2 is 4. But the blackboard is so bad. Look, I'll write on paper. But the paper is also bad. Oh my god, you fucking...
But yes, so you've just been accused of murdering servo skulls to make your abomination. And you said, compare my abomination to a pure weapon.
VT?
Yes, Jess said... just a sec. Jess said, may we see a demonstration of these suspension fields in work?
If that is allowable, I will show you.
Also, I was about to ask that, would my character know any situation where something like similar of this would have been done, like, parts taken from something else to improve something other, and it would have been made into a standard, so to say?
Recycling is a very important part of the 41st millennium. The fact of the matter is there is documentation of Krios taking functional servo skulls, breaking them down, and using their components to augment Henry. It's not a matter of recycling components. It was a matter of, well, these work, rip apart, shove on.
Especially considering to be turned into a silver soul is normally an honor. At least by the Mechanicum, so you can continue your usefulness for the Omnisire in the true form of a machine.
But yes, Jess, go ahead and do a roll to see if you will be able to argue that a demonstration would be advisable.
God damn it.
9.
Aw.
The Magos will object to Pin's very abnormal request that something which has been already just now indicated as a breach from Mechanicus doctrine to allow it to be activated in our presence? Is she trying to damn us all? Of course, it would be a lot less emotionally stated.
Turns out Henry's just pure tech heresy right now, and before this day is done, we'll probably be destroyed.
Wouldn't Krios be glad of that?
Was that in character?
That was out of character, but it's going to be brought up in character.
That's fine. Well, no need for a demonstration. I can illuminate you just through speech.
The Shikari will be ordered to ready their weapons just in case.
Krios will hold his hands up, showing I ain't doing shit.
Victor will take take a step back to safer accommodations.
Was there any other modifications on Henry besides the
Yes.
expenses?
Oh, yes.
He's retweaked the entire lens array, which has given Krios the benefit of having Henry have the accurate quality. Fungi and I never really fully discussed how or what Krios did to make that augmentation, but I imagine once again it was he took components required for something else deemed important and instead put them on a las cannon. Yes, a las cannon is an important tech relic, but he likely got those lenses from an even more important tech relic kind of thing.
Probably sensors or recorders for long distance, like the version of it, like a telescope or something. Okay. Anything else modification-wise?
So he made it sleeker and, got rid of some of the, not gratuitous, what's the word? Superfluous? Yeah, some of the superfluous aspects that are kept for ritual reasons and kept for doctrine.
Okay. So pretty much just following the STC templates for these part items.
Oh, yeah, Krios, if you found any piece of the las cannon which served no function that you could discern, would you remove it?
I'd remove it, then test the weapon. If there was absolutely no change, it would be discarded.
Okay.
After I'd find out if I'd do tests, see if I can find out what the fuck it is. But yeah.
Okay. So decorations have also been removed, but of course, in 40K terms, that's like going to a church and taking off the bars of a cross.
Yeah. This is not helping the case for your data.
Hey, well, shall I speak?
Yeah, you turn down because they're done with the accusations.
Cool. I'm sure you're all aware of the standard STC model las cannon, or the fuck twat model that this is. It is almost impossible for a standard flesh unit human to wield one, especially not without any sort of weapon mounting. The dispenser arrays, which I agree, quite theoretically constructed, not gonna argue there, enable me to, even without my strength enhancing, also clearly heretical enhancements, I can shoot this standing without any bracing required. If you can imagine a unit of Imperial Guardsmen or even Skitari armed with these, enemy armor would be weeping. The focusing arrays I have put on to increase penetration, once again, certain lens configuration, and I'm just talking technobabble, allows the weapon to be hit with a much greater punch. Enough that, hell, even Astartes' great vehicles would be incredibly susceptible. Now, once again, the methods to which I have achieved these aims, totally blasphemous. However, the information my testing has gathered can be used. The information, the data, the numbers cannot lie, numbers cannot cheat, numbers cannot kill. It is cold, sterile data. Use it.
Frosty, is there anything further that you would bring forward?
1 second, something just got dropped and broke.
Nope. Duckable Bob.
I'll try to think quickly if I want to mention something. Okay, I have something in my head.
What's that?
I'm
Are you waiting for a Bob?
Well, I was going to wait for a Boba, but there's no knowing how long it will take him to return. So I would say that it is true that this current specific object, is highly unregular and almost could mention heretical. However, if this, how would you say, a combination of devices gathered from non-sacrilegious sources would actually work, this would be a fundamental upgrade to our current knowledge.
So, Victor's argument here is this weapon is awesome, let's use it.
Basically, he's saying this particular weapon, how it was made, bad, very bad. However, if we would take the ideas of it, the knowledge, and use it, get the items that are required to do it non-heretical way, not ripping them from servo skulls and other sacred items, we could possibly produce them. It would be slower, but we could possibly produce them somehow and make them. That would be quite remarkable.
Okay. Just something, Bob's still not back yet, or?
No.
All right. Something that is not common knowledge, I think, with all of the players here, but Jess and Fungi know, is innovation like that really doesn't happen in the Imperium, mainly because when something is built, it's basically, these are the molds in the forge, pour liquid into mold, let liquid set, take item out of mold, use item. It's not a matter of, well, what does this do? No, you don't ask that. It's repetition, rote, and standard template. It's innovation is bad because innovation leads to chaos.
But to my character, this is logic.
Yes.
If it's superior, it's logical to use it. However, we need to make mold of it from unheretical sources.
Yeah, so absolutely your point in this argument is well made, but just said Finn wants Henry. I think I know where she wants to put Henry as well. I'm just letting you know what Victor is saying right now could even potentially mark Victor as potentially heretical.
I agree.
Okay.
I'm taking this chance.
To him, it makes logical sense.
And Pin, you and Henry would not stand a chance against Ortho and Void Belcher.
Who?
Ortho was a very much heretical tech priest from a different campaign I ran. He had a demonically possessed autocannon called Void Belcher. He also had auto pistols implanted into his arms, and I can't remember what type of Potentia coil it's called, but basically it uses a fraction of a demon to power the Potentia coil. Yeah, he was on his way to becoming a defiler. All right, welcome back, Bob. Frosty's tech priest Victor just made the argument that this las cannon is of superior quality. What we should do is take the information Krios possesses, analyze it, determine how to recreate a weapon of this quality without doing so in a heretical fashion. And as I GM, and what Frosty is aware of, is that saying that is also kind of heretical, because the tried, true, and tested method of the Imperium, of the Mechanicus, is standard template. If it was good enough for the Emperor 10,000 years ago, it's good enough for us now. If you start innovating, you're opening all sorts of doors to all sorts of bad places. Additionally, I also sent you a private message, but Krios wants to interrupt.
Oh, sorry, no, not interrupt. Just something to say before we go back in character.
Go ahead.
Just to remind people that the Mechanicum isn't about replacing all flesh with machinery. It's mainly about the perfect mix between flesh and machinery.
Except some do get obsessed with being completely machine.
Quite so. But replacing all flesh isn't the Mechanicum's be all end all.
Yeah, sorry, you can keep going with that argument. I just have to grab a phone. Sorry.
Yeah, but they still consider it, any tech priest still considers it to be a great honor to be turned into, say, a servo skull.
Oh, I'm not arguing that. I'm not pointing fault at anyone. It's just a part of the Mechanicum that I think is incredibly overlooked as the perfect mix between flesh and metal, or flesh and machinery. That is the main
perfect marriage of man and metal.
Man and machine, yeah. And
just like heavy metal.
Indeed.
Whoa, tech priests.
I can just imagine Pin just running around going chicken, 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 and yelling, "Whoa, tech priests!"
Swear to God, if you put a body kit on Henry, I will flay you.
Say what?
Body kit.
Oh, you don't have to worry about a body kit. No, that thing's going to be completely destroyed now.
No, that's fine. I've already accepted that. Just Jess is joking about, car mods and Hondas and zooming and everything, If someone put a body kit on Henry, that...
Ooh, we should put hydraulics on Henry so Henry can start bouncing.
You're all dead to me.
I don't think Henry needs a fin. A really badass flame paint job wouldn't be so bad. Get some spinners on it. If we do paint it red, the laser will go faster than light itself. We will break a hole in reality.
This will be another awkward section of the recording where there's no speech, no nothing. If somebody will be listening to this, we're sorry. No, we're not.
I got back just in time to hear you say, if anyone is listening to this, we're sorry.
Yeah, there's a long part where we're not speaking anything.
Oh.
So if somebody will stumble upon this recording, we're sorry about that. That's nothing.
I feel sorry. I feel sorry for the poor NSA agent who has to listen in on this.
Why? He will laugh. Possibly.
Hey, NSA,
maybe not.
I live opposite the American Embassy. Fuck you. Mm-hmm.
And he just gets put, and Fungi just gets put on the top 100 most wanted list.
I download movies.
Oh, now you're in the top 80.
Would you download a car?
Like, not only will I download a car, I would put an atheist bumper sticker on it.
Oh, now you're in the top 5. Fungi has now just been officially upgraded to the top 5 most wanted.
But it sounds like we have everybody back then.
Yes.
Good to be king.
Indubitably.
Okay. So where did we leave off? Right. Fungi, you were saying that it is not the goal of all tech priests to become all machine. But you do admit that there are some tech priests out there who take the phrase "the flesh is weak" to the extreme.
Oh yes, I'm just saying that the official statement of the Mechanicus is that their deal is all about the perfect melding of man and machine, or flesh and machine.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then where did we leave off in the role play?
I can't remember.
Oh, right. A Bob just got some private messages.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, right before you follow up, Krios, you had just finished saying, this is knowledge. It's not going to hurt anybody. Take it from my brain and use it, right?
Well, he's basically saying that this is data. It's information. It is numbers. Numbers cannot be evil. Numbers cannot be corrupted. Doesn't matter where the number 6 has been, it'll always be the number 6. It can never fucking change. Sure, the paper it is written on can change, but the data itself is infallible.
That's Krios' argument. What is Faraday's argument?
Malignant machine spirits. You know of these, yes, Krios?
Was that a question?
Yes, he asked you if you know what a malignant machine spirit is.
By all means, enlighten me.
These are corrupted machine spirits that can be passed through pure data itself. Whoever takes this information from your brain could become infected with maybe the data itself.
A meme virus.
Which would then in turn cloud their conception of what is truly, what is clear to use and what it's okay to do in the name of the Omniscience and its ways. Are you saying that this risk should be taken?
I do believe former Ensign Krios has mentioned several times that this data should be first reviewed before taking.
Yes, and the ways we could review it could be damaged by this itself. There are many cases.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, there have been many cases where the study of certain items or artifacts, or even just a certain person's personal data itself, has caused damage on a wide scale.
Can I do a logic roll to see how common that could be, logically speaking?
Well, it wouldn't be logic in this case. It would actually be tech lore. But yeah, let's see how many instances you are personally aware of, Victor. Hello, testing?
I hear you.
Did we lose Frosty?
Seems we may have lost Frosty. Damn.
Not yet.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I was just.
We hear snap, crackle, and popple from you, Frosty, but not words.
Ask, is it mine?
Yeah,
That's cutting.
yeah, it's your internet cutting out. You're going full on robo.
Fuck's sakes.
Oh, wait, for fuck's sakes was clear.
You said something about tech lore.
Yes. You have to do a tech lore roll.
Okay, but the original question was that, how many. I was thinking about the logic thing because how many of these situations would, actually lead up to this situation that the Logius Prime is bringing up? But yeah, I will do the tech lore first.
All right, then yes, your character is fully cognizant and aware of the fact that essentially computer viruses can be passed through pure data, and that because the Mechanicus does not rely on a true thinking machine, as those are the ultimate heresy, that any computer that they put this information into could be irreparably damaged. Sorry, it was just a quick interruption, made me lose my train of thought. Right, any sort of static, any sort of object can be irreparably damaged from a computer virus, basically. And if you put that into a person's brain for a person to analyze Krios's information, you may as well just clone Krios, because if he has a good enough meme virus, he could just literally take over somebody else's brain.
Yeah, but the thing is, I was trying to figure out how common this occurrence could be to, rebuke that it's not actually a how would you say, a
Constant
logical
danger?
concern. Yeah, constant danger. I mean, it's possible, but
I'll say in
the
Victor's
chances of
life,
getting-
he's never experienced it. He's heard of it.
Mm-hmm. So basically, he would bring out the situation that it's highly unlikely that this would happen, since there are no. Would it be right to say no recorded situations in our vicinity?
Yeah, well, at least in Victor's life. He can't speak for all of the tech priests unless he wants to go rooting through their first personal diaries.
Yeah, but he would bring up I will just say in the gist that he would mention that it's highly unlikely. He has never encountered this. He doesn't say it's not possible, but he's saying that it's highly unlikely and it would be logical to use it against this situation. This is why we need to analyze it first. So he's adamant about that.
So, Faraday, any rebuttal, and or Pin or Constantine, anything you would wish to add?
I'll see if Jess and Joe have been quiet, so I'm seeing if they have anything to say.
The freight train facilitator, operations coordinator, engine seer. When I see that token's face, I just sort of think like behind the robes is like a whole fucking steam locomotive. Data with proper precautions could be useful. Choo choo. Well played. And Joe? Well, this is a security risk at this point. If Krios is heretical and we start making downloads of his brain and install it into other people, that could potentially cause you to have to go to war with other tech priests within this own very facility. That is, of course, if you believe in meme viruses. So Constantine is on the side of Faraday, while Pin is on the side of Victor. Is that correct? Okay. Indeed true. All right. Krios, anything further you wanted to rebut of your own before Faraday continues?
I have stated everything I believe is relevant to this case. To repeat myself would be illogical.
So be it. Faraday?
You say, Engineer Karchev, that it should be safe to study, but if we have no knowledge of whether anything we can download from Krios' brain is heretical or not until we start to transfer, and by then it would be too late.
You're speaking paradox. You're saying that we shouldn't take the knowledge because it could be potentially dangerous, but we can't suggest the danger of this data without going through it. Does not make logical sense.
And yet we have already have plenty of evidence already shown to this court, this trial, that he's already demonstrated many various other ways of corruption. And logic dictates that he is already corrupted.
He might
So
have
even the smallest,
corrupted-
even the smallest form of his views or stuff figured out could lead to a malignant machine spirit.
Humans mutate every now and then. Does necessitate you destroy every single human?
Oh, did Krios just say that in character?
He's getting frustrated, man.
Oh boy. Something else to be aware of in the 40K universe. The human form is divine, according to the Emperor of Mankind. That's why mutation is hunted down and obliterated. The whole abhuman thing is treading the fine line.
Gray line.
Yeah. And Krios just said that everybody's a mutant. It's kind of
No. That is not.
It's not what you literally said. I know it's not what you literally. I know it isn't, but that's what it comes across as.
Well, then bollocks. Let me rephrase that, because that is not how. I don't want to come trying to say maths works and instead go. Jesus Christ. So
Okay.
what they're saying is, if there is a risk of something bad, you don't suddenly destroy everything that has that fucking risk. Oh no, you can have lung cancer. You better remove every single fucking pair of lungs in the fucking galaxy.
The Imperium does that on a regular basis. So does the
No, but
Inquisition.
if they, you don't. Okay, fine. I'm done. Just go on. It's cool. I'm gonna stay quiet.
Well, is that you being frustrated as a player or Krios frustration?
Little both.
All right. Well, you are aware that in the 41st millennia they have wiped out entire planets because there's a suspected bit of heresy.
Indeed, I am incredibly aware of that. But there's a huge difference between a planet and fucking everyone, including yourself.
Very true, but we are, of course, dealing with the setting where people like to go to extremes.
Indeed, I am going to the extremist extreme. I mean, which no one has gone to. The extreme I'm talking about is if an orc lands on a planet, the only way to kill those orcs is to exterminate the planet. So the only way to be safe is to, at the same time, exterminate every single rock in space. Not even Commissar Yarrick thinks that's a good idea.
Well, considering they're saying, we're not suggesting we delete all people, we're saying we delete Krios. So your argument there, like, sorry to turn this into a metagame argument at this point, but
My argument, if there is a risk that you can get a, I don't know the phrase is, a technovirus from any single bit of potentially, not even real, but potentially corrupted data, this means that any device that is ever within miles of anything chaos must be destroyed. So this means any ship or any weapon or any person that has ever even been around when chaos is mentioned should be destroyed. And as we all know, this doesn't happen because everyone in this room has been discussing chaos, and yet we are not dead. So I'm trying to show the
not
the lack of
technically.
I'm trying to show the lack of consistency in their logic. This is the logic, and I'm saying, well, fine, that's logic. Do this because that's following a logical train of thought.
Yes, except they're saying that individually, Krios has demonstrated he is corrupt. So
I'm not arguing that the slightest.
Yes. So what Faraday's argument is, because Krios is corrupt, the data he possesses is corrupt.
There's only a chance of that, though.
That's a chance they can't be willing to take, is Faraday's argument.
Then fair enough.
Krios denied knowing what a malignant machine spirit was.
As a player, I've never heard of it.
Oh,
I'm not trying to call bullshit.
Okay.
I've just never heard of that.
Oh, okay. No. See, that's kind of frustrating with the frickin' rule books. But in any event, in that case, would Krios have been aware, or do you still think he denied being aware?
No, it's I don't know. He doesn't know. That's cool. I'm happy to roll it.
Okay. So what that could be, argumentatively, is that Krios is denying the fact that he is aware of something that he has in fact developed just to try and sneak it into your brains, because he's sinister like that. I'm wondering if I broke Fungi.
I've had words being put in my character's mouth all evening. I don't take it offensively. If I had my way, I'd probably bitch slap every single NPC and character in this room with my cock.
That's a good plan.
Welcome to Warhammer 40k. Sorry, Jess. So, what was the intriguing assessment? Okay, so PIN requests, former Engine Seer Krios, are you suggesting, like the abhumans we are studying, you are as well suggesting you fall under an equivalent category?
To make any statement, you must be able to back it up with data. You cannot simply surmise that something is corrupted without something to show for it. If you must do tests to find out if I am corrupted, do so. Just simply claiming it because you're scared is illogical.
I agree with the former Engine Seer Krios' logic here.
We do not declare you corrupt by fear. We declare you corrupt by your own admittance to your actions that lead to you being corrupt.
Corrupt actions does not equal corrupt data. There is a risk of it. There are correlations, but they are not entirely. They are not mutually inclusive.
I might be hitting a low blow here, but I just figured out something. Logically speaking, the Celery's Prime worked corruptly, trying to close the laboratory earlier without WDB's permission. However, this was reviewed as non-threatened corruption, as it was logical. The same situation has been reviewed here, at least in some parts.
Magos Prime is downloading the information from former engineer Krios the only way to access the data, or may other means be considered? Right. WDB will look to Pin and request further clarification if she is making a proposal. And just as Jess is typing that out, the sounds of thunder are starting to be getting kind of dull-y thudding against the halls and walls of the facility. Attempting to expand options from the blanket one way or another, such as perhaps... Sorry, Jess, I'm not sure what you're trying to say at all. But yeah, so Joe, well, let me send a quick private message to Joe. No, my wife is giggling at something. What is it?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I had a large amount to do. Oh really? Really? I'm flattered, but I didn't understand that. Sorry. Commonly names this shows. I have a large amount to do. What? To be so sorry. Obviously, I'm really fine. The professor makes a large amount of cheese goes in really close to me.
Sorry, I don't know if anyone could hear what Kristen was saying there.
Not really, I'm
Not
afraid.
really.
Oh, sorry. But Jess is saying, basically asking if there's any other options than just downloading him, maybe making him do an explanation and recording it, perhaps. All right, so then she is doing a proposal that Krios were to do some. Okay. So, yeah. Basically, at this point, WDB will state, basically banging the gavel, stating that Pin's recommendations have been examined and are being determined to be inappropriate as they are not in accordance with the Mechanicus doctrine.
Law.
Yes, and so ultimately he has heard enough, and his logic determination has come to the conclusion that Krios is indeed corrupt, and therefore all knowledge within Krios is corrupt. There is no way that the Mechanicus can dare risk allowing him to interface directly with any sacred machines, for he has repeatedly proven himself to be untrustworthy, and at this time it seems that his constant denial and constant effort to try and interface and try to get his information to spread is merely just proof positive that there is something inherently wrong with that information. Krios, what is your response, if anything? Bungie is... Oh dear, Henry is within grabbing distance.
No, that's not the level of willpower I was thinking about. But this is annoying. I wanted to take the moral high ground.
You still can. That was a role-play roll. I did not call for that one. It's up to you if you want to listen to the dice or if you want to go with what your gut tells you.
He is going to look apoplectic with rage. Knuckles are white. His jaw is so clenched you can see muscles bulging on the side of his fucking head. But he says nothing. You get the idea that if you poked him, it'd be like poking the world's longest rubber band that's about to snap.
Made of bears.
Okay.
Fun fact, a grizzly bear can run the same speed as a racehorse.
But the question is for how long?
Long enough that you die.
So before any of you can do anything else, however, there will be more binary chatter as the WDB suddenly realizes that Constantine has just ordered the door to be closed again, and will immediately state, Constantine, you have once again broken from the mandates, and this demonstration is unacceptable. You are relieved of duty, and Pin, go and open the front gate. Delightful.
If it's within Faraday's authority, he would go Skatari, remove that abomination from his hands, and make sure
I'm not
if it's...
hunting.
No, it's still
I'll
in
have
the
my hands
hands
up
of
last 10
the
minutes.
Skatar. It's still in the combat servitor's hands.
Okay, see to the destruction of that abomination, and prepare heretic Krios for his deletion.
Beep boop.
Oh, and maybe he would say one last last jibe at Krios. My prediction as to how this case would go seems to be proven true, unlike what you said.
I said you were preemptive. That is still correct. Krios will turn around and start walking out of the room.
Can you get out of the way, Victor?
Yep, he will.
Okay. Well, Krios, already you can hear the screams of the civilians in the hallways.
My fucking god, I hate these people.
But the Mechanicus follow their orders to a T. And since Constantine has been relieved of his station, he no longer has control over the Crimson Guard.
Motherfucker.
Wouldn't somebody automatically take his place?
No! Remember who you're dealing with as the Negos Prime for this facility.
So he wouldn't have a contingency plan. It's like, okay, you go and that person's in charge.
No, he's going to say, Faraday, compile a list for me. I will analyze this list, and if I do not find a sufficient person to take command, I will make a request to the priesthood on Mars.
Am I still in the room?
No, these guys are basically dragging you out.
Oh, alright, well, I'm going to just shout then. Do you not hear the screams? Can you not hear that?
And the doors close between you and the room they're in.
You are under
Right.
attack! But the throne and... What's the fucking Mechanicus god called again? I can't remember.
Messiah.
For the Omnissiah's sake, defend yourselves!
Well, I rolled a 7 for compiling that list he asked for.
Well, this will only be the schedule to reevaluate the building plans for work scheduling. So work scheduling, first priority is to analyze the door and make sure that it will operate properly if you attempt to close it and open it repeatedly. This is approved. Get to it.
Yes.
as the ferals are already starting to run into the building. And I'm going to say, despite it being so early, I'm actually going to call it a night here, and we're going to continue on with the assault in next week's session.
I think this is a good
Okay.
stopping point.
Mhm.
Shall I stop the recording now then? No, actually, I might as well.
So, Fungi, more and more, I think the enemy of Mechanicum or Mechanicus is starting to become more and more appropriate for you, isn't it?
That's me, fucking clearly. No, it's been pretty obvious since the beginning.
I shall stop the recording here.
Yeah,
Nice.
and so next session, though, just before you stop, is the 24th. Everyone good for the 24th?
Should be.
24th, yeah, and then we're going to have to skip, if possible, third session on the 31st.
Okay, thanks for letting. Oh, right, of course. The 31st is Halloween anyway. So
Yeah.
once again, thank you all, and we'll chat a bit, but recordings can complete.
I'm just double checking I'm not doing something next Saturday.